Hi everyone, Brian from Sewage and Brewing here, and welcome to the fifth and final video in my little mini-series where I take the same wort and then ferment it with 5 different yeasts with the intent of displaying certain yeast biochemical and flavor compounds. So in this final video, I am looking at one of my favorite yeasts, but one of my most hated biochemical processes, or maybe I should say my most hated name for a biochemical process, and that is biotransformation. And the reason I don't like that name is pretty simple. Everything is biotransformation. Turning sugars into alcohol is biotransformation. Turning amino acids into fusel alcohols is biotransformation. And yet, for some reason, some brewers decided that two similar but chemically very different processes are biotransformation. Rant aside, though, biotransformation is very, very important in the brewing industry. Historically, in the wine industry, it was a really essential part of how many of their yeasts function, and more recently, it's become quite important in the beer brewing world. So what exactly is biotransformation when we're talking about brewing? Well, in simple terms, it's taking an aroma compound that in the hop or the grain has been essentially inactivated by attaching it to a larger molecule. And so because it's been attached to a larger molecule, it can no longer volatilize, and so we don't smell or taste that particular chemical. What happens with a biotransformation yeast is it has enzymes that break that bond, release that aromatic compound, and now it's something that we can smell and taste. And so when it comes to winemaking, a lot of the flavors that are sort of unique to different styles of wine come from the release of those sorts of compounds that are found in grapes. Now in brewing, this was sort of ignored for a long time, but more recently, people noticed that actually we can take some relatively inexpensive hops and use these sorts of yeast with those hops. And now instead of having a rather plain Jane hop like Northern Brewer, you have the hop character of a tropical hop or of a New Zealand style hop, you know, that very tropical fruit forward, very modern, very expensive hop variety. But you're getting that character out of a budget hop that you can get for 1/10 the price. Now you might wonder, well, what exactly is it that these yeasts are doing to convert, you know, sort of a minty, boring hop, I shouldn't say boring, but a minty herbal hop into this tropical fruit character. And like I said a little bit ago, it's two completely different things. The first thing is it may be a lyase expressing yeast. And so lyase is an enzyme that'll cut sulfur-containing thiol molecules off of, generally speaking, amino acids or proteins. And so those thiol-based aroma compounds basically get attached by what's called a disulfide bond to a specific amino acid found in proteins called cysteine. And so now you've got your aroma active thiol stuck to a massive protein, and that's why you can't smell or taste it. And a lyase does exactly what you think it does. It cuts it and lets that thiol free. Yeast cells can further process those thiols, so you might release one thiol but end up with 3 or 4 different ones after the yeast is done processing it. And that form of biotransformation is what really drives the tropical fruit transformation of hops. This is what's going to give you your pineapple, your mango, your papaya, those sorts of characters from hops that don't normally have those flavors, because you're able to release those thiols that carry those aromas. But the second kind of biotransformation is quite a bit different, and yet somewhat similar. And this form of biotransformation releases a chemical class called terpenes from usually a sugar. So again, terpene is an aroma active molecule, and these are inactivated in many hops by attaching them to a sugar. And so now we have an enzyme that's called a beta-galactosidase that's going to cut that terpene-sugar bond, releasing the terpene. Now, terpenes are something that brewers are actually fairly familiar with, even if you don't recognize the name, because these are those floral and citrusy aroma notes that we're used to in more traditional style hops. This is your geranol, your citronol, those types of chemicals. And so again, this is a way of getting more of those characters out of a hop that might have very little free terpene in it. And as you might imagine, yeast tend to do one or the other. I don't know of any strain that really does both effectively. There are a number of varieties that have sort of an intrinsic ability to engage in biotransformation, especially on the terpene side. There's a number of yeasts that have pretty good activity in releasing terpenes. But on that lyase side, it's relatively rare, and the yeasts that do it naturally are not generally very strong at doing it. They'll do it a little bit, but you're not going to completely change the hop character. And so that's where this yeast here, excuse my writing, but it says Cosmic Punch by our local yeast producer, Escarpment Labs, comes into play. This is, I said before, one of my favorite yeasts. And this yeast has been genetically engineered. I think technically speaking, it's a cisgenetic yeast, which means it's expressing a yeast protein in a yeast cell. So they're making more of something that was there normally. But nonetheless, it's been genetically engineered to have a lot more lyase activity. And I still, to this day, remember the first time I ever used this yeast. This thing's amazing. I brewed an IPA with straight Cascade hops for bittering, aroma, and flavor additions, dry hop, the whole 9 yards. And it came out tasting, you know, like Mosaic and those sorts of things. So not bad for some pretty old hops I found in my freezer. And so I played with a lot since then. The thing that this does to hops is amazing in terms of just completely changing their character. So anyways, that introduction aside, let's get this thing poured. So again, hopefully nice and clear like the other ones. I know when I bottled this, it smelled amazing, so hopefully that's still there. All right. Yeah, it smells like papaya. I mean, yeah, straight up papaya, which is pretty crazy when you take into account that the only hop in there is Saaz. So, I mean, to start, we of course have our control. This is the same wort, but fermented with lager yeast W3470. And I mean, I've said this every video, it's a great Czech style lager. Nice Saaz hop character, decent bitterness in the background, bready Pilsner malt character. Very simple, but delicious. So let's try the Biotransformation version. Again, it smells hugely of papaya. And that's really it. I've actually never had a Cosmic Punch beer that was this much of just one character. Now, it's not a super heavily hopped beer. If you've brewed Pilsners, you know your aroma additions are relatively small, on the order of an ounce or 30 grams for 5-gallon or 20-liter batch. So the hop character here isn't screaming like an IPA, but it tastes tropical. It's sort of like if you made a Pilsner, but using tropical hops rather than classical German hops. Definitely get that papaya character. And just like the aroma, that's all that's the main note. Surprisingly, no mango or anything like that, which normally I get from this yeast. So I think that may be a product of the Saaz hops. Probably have a limited thiol profile in them intrinsically, so you can only make what's there, right? You can't make something completely new. Now, I do have to say, it is a little more one-dimensional than I was expecting. Like I said, I've used this in the past with a number of different hops, and it will take something like Cascade and make it taste like Mosaic, or, you know, Northern Brewer and make it taste like fruit salad. And here it's taken Saaz and made it taste like papaya. And the higher bitterness of the beer, with the relatively smaller amounts of the Saaz hops that have been converted to papaya, it is a little unbalanced. It is maybe a little too bitter for the amount of hop character that's there. Although, of course, in the Pilsner form, it's pretty much perfect. So anyways, that is this little video series. If you watched all the videos, thank you very much. If you haven't, and this didn't bore you completely, maybe go back and watch some of the other ones. I have a few more videos planned for the next month or so, so this won't be the last time you see me for a bit, but until then, thanks for joining me.